Let's roll. Hello everyone and welcome to the Power BI quiz, where I have Will as a guest today.
Hi everybody, nice to see you all, hear from you all, everybody who's around the world.
And is the audio okay for all of you? Yeah, let's see.
They can see you at least, because they can see your t-shirt.
Yeah, they can see my t-shirt. I have a t-shirt in the background. It's my local soccer team, and they just won. The game was just finished 5 minutes ago, so yeah, I have a little promotion out there. But yeah, hi and welcome all to this evening, or at least in European time, Power BI quiz, where I have Will as the guest of the show. So, hello, Will.
Hang on, which way do I have to turn? That way or this way? Oh, I've gone all small again. That's strange. Right, okay, you're over there somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry, we have some trouble with the video from Will. You can see him half. Hopefully, it will.
Yeah, I'll try and stay in the right spot.
It will work out.
Even if it's only half of a window.
Sorry about that, but you can hear Will, and yeah. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very precious time in the Power BI team. You just told me you got a new role in the team.
Yeah, that's right. So in January, I took over managing the team that I was in. So I'm now the group program manager for the whole of the Power BI creators team. So whether you're building reports in desktop or in the service, kind of spanning both of those places, I look after the whole team now. So Kim Mannis, who was my manager, she moved over to look after the consumer side of things, and I stepped up. So changed a little bit since we last spoke.
Yeah, and congratulations to this. And today the quiz is then only on the Power BI desktop side of the things. So the creators side of the Power BI desktop, the experience there. And there's a lot of things to cover. I saw the quiz right now, and it is some really tricky questions, I will say.
I'm certainly trying to test the edges of your knowledge and the more obscure parts of Power BI desktop, because hopefully you all know and love it. Hopefully you're all using it fairly regularly. As Power BI fans, you should be using it, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're going to test the edges of your knowledge.
We will see how people will answer in this quiz and how it will go. But first off, we have some prizes. So today we have a gift card to Lego.com. We actually have that all the quizzes until now. So $100. You can go in and buy something for yourself or for your small ones. And then we also have a raffle prize. This week it's a 1 month membership from Red Academy. So it's Red has sponsored it. And it's a random prize for an attendee, a lucky one. And we will raffle that prize next week. But this week, I will hope you will help me pick the winner, the raffle winner from last week. So let's go in and see. The prize from last week was a Enterprise DNA membership, a whole year membership of this portal, where you can find a lot of training courses and learning resources and workshops, and also you can see they have a membership promotion here on a analytic week. There's a lot of content in here, and it's sponsored by Enterprise DNA. So yeah, you'll get 1 year access to this whole portal. So let's go here. I've created this Power BI report with all the attendees from last week, and you can see here the ranking and the 41 different attendees here and how it went. And Rishi was the winner with only one scoring 9 correct answers. Really great achievement, I will say. So I have assigned every attendee a random number. So we have 41 numbers here. And then I will ask you to pick a number. And this week you cannot pick 42 because we only have 41. So
All right. Okay. Let's go with. I'd love to say let's go with my age, 21. No, I'm not 21, but let's go with number 21 anyway.
Let's take 21 and see the lucky winner. I will go drill through to the player. And Lars Andersen is the lucky winner. Lars Andersen is our local Power BI representative in Denmark from Microsoft, actually. So he was ranked 2 last week and got the random number 21 and then won this Enterprise DNA membership where he can go in and learn even more about Power BI, all through his kind of expert already. Yeah. So this was the Raffle winner from last week, and for this week, yeah, we have for the first prize 100 gift card to Lego, and here you can see some of the stuff you can buy. Maybe buy the Fiat, or yeah, there's a lot of different things you can buy for $100.
I just finished the Apollo Lunar Lander.
Oh,
was the last thing I finished. Some of you might have spotted it in the stream that we did at Embass. It was in the background in my office. I finished it in the office, I guess in January, just before we all got told to go work from home. I went and grabbed it when I did that Embass stream. I went and grabbed it along with the other Lego set that I had there to build with my kids. So we've been doing that again over the last couple of months.
Oh, nice. I believe actually Nikki, who won the first quiz, also bought that specific set.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good choice.
And he has also, he posted on Twitter that he has also been building it with his kids. So yeah, definitely you can buy something for yourself or something for your kids or something you can play with together. And then for the Raffle prize, we have this 1 month Academy membership from radacat.com, and there are a lot of courses, and it's not only around Power BI. There's also courses around other stuff like SIS and other. So you'll get access 1 month for free, and then just go crazy on learning stuff and doing all the courses for this 1 month you get here. Yeah. So this was the prizes. Now let's start the action and go and see on the Kahoot. So we have this Kahoot quiz where you will see the questions on your monitor, and then you'll answer. And I will say it's more easy to answer if you use your mobile device or a tablet, so you don't have to switch between 2 different applications. Maybe you have 2 monitors, then you can do it. And then you should put in a pin, a game pin that you will have been shown shortly, and then put in a nickname, and either put in your full name or Twitter handle in case you win the Raffle prize and not participating next week. Then we will have to have a way of finding you. And then we have these 3 to 5 seconds delay, which means that you will see the question or the answer possibilities on your mobile device before you see the questions. So you'll just have a little patience and wait for the questions, because you're only awarded points for the question if you answer correctly. But you also awarded points if you answer quick. So you have to find the balance there. And then also, because of this delay, there's a time on each question. We have some questions for 20 seconds, some for 30 seconds, and then some for 60 seconds. And you will have to answer 3 to 5 seconds before the timer ends, or else, you will miss the chance to answer. So yeah, we have this week we have 10 real questions that is awarded points, and then we have 1 starter point, and actually also 1 in the middle that is not awarded points, but just because we want your feedback of one of the questions, or will like the feedback of that question. It's a little silly question, so let's see. But yeah, and then yeah, let's start up the Kahoot. So here you see the game pen, hopefully. And we have some attendees. Excellent. We have been around 40 attendees every week, the 5 first quizzes we have made. So let's see how many we are today. 30, 35, and 40. Yeah, 41. Maybe it is the limit. It's around 40, a couple of 40. 43, 44.
Anybody else? Yes. Oh, look. The question is, where do we stop? You know?
Oh yeah, we are nearly 50 people, but I will start the quiz now, and then you can actually also join in the middle. And the first question is not awarded points, so let's just get started. This is a multi-select, just to show you this opportunity. What's your favorite language?
Given that I was the PM looking after DAX for a little while, a number of years, I've got to say DAX. That's my personal favorite.
Yeah, and I also think that's the one that's mostly suited for the quiz today.
But I'm always impressed by M. I think I've said this many times, that every time I open the query editor, I learn something new. Every time I go and try and do something new in M, there's so much to learn there.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I have the same way, and also with DAX sometimes, but mostly with M. And the favorite question or language is actually DAX. This is a multi-select, so we have more than 50 answers here. So let's get going and have the first real question. Are you all ready? Let's hit it. So what file uses this icon? And remember to answer before the timer ends.
I'd love to see a distribution of how quickly people answer this as well.
Yeah,
like do people instantly recognize it? Or do you have to think about it?
I actually have some stats afterwards where I can see how quickly each attendee answered each question. Oh, it's a little tricky question.
Yeah.
So it was the template file?
Yeah, the PBIT file.
So it's really similar to the PBIX file, I will say.
It is quite similar, yeah. But you can tell it's kind of got the page behind it, behind the logo, which is, with the yellow banner at the top. That's the thing that distinguishes it as a PBIT file.
So we already have half of the audience not awarded points or more.
It's good. Separating the points, right? The PBIDS file is a Power BI data source file. It's just got a data connection in it. So it's something you can use if you want to just give people, hey, this is the connection string that you need to use to connect to a particular database or data warehouse. You can just generate those files.
And is there actually an icon for the visual?
The PBIVIS file does have its own icon. PBIDS doesn't have an icon at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, let's see who is on top now. Oddity. So that's Owen from New Zealand actually joining in, and I believe it's 6 in the morning in New Zealand, so impressive.
Excellent.
And he's also answering really quick, so therefore he's in the top right now. Let's have the next question.
Now you'll notice it's when do the Power BI team aim to release the monthly desktop update. We don't always make it. But let's see how many of you think you know when we try and release it.
Do you have any statistics on how good you are at your aiming?
We do, but I would definitely not like to reveal those statistics.
Yeah, but also now with the MBAS, there was some shift in a lot of things.
That's right. We sometimes move things around to match up with events and the like.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, the second Monday of the month. So it can be anywhere between the 7th and the 14th, I guess. But yeah, it does vary. It does vary depending on bugs and things, but we try and make it the second holiday month.
Yeah. So not many people answered that correctly, but we have 3 people answering correctly on both first 2 questions right now. So congratulations so far. And we have a puzzle. This is a new question type, so you have 60 seconds to answer this one.
So you need to drag your answers
in the right order
to match them in the right order. So these are the icons that you'll see in the field list when you're working in Power BI Desktop. There is a whole range of different icons that represent different fields, and I picked a couple of the common ones, a couple of the more obscure ones. I want to see how many of you can tell the difference.
And I believe people are only awarded points if they are all 4 correctly. I will say the first 2, I am pretty sure a lot of people, but the last 2, I was, at least when I saw the question, a little doubt about.
I wasn't sure whether we should make this. I wanted to make this a question one where you just had to type in the answer. I was just going to show you one because at least you've got choices and you can kind of process of elimination to try and get down. I wanted to just see if I just show you one of these icons and just get you to type in the answer. What will it be? Oh, look at this.
So the right order was the measure?
So this one is a measure. The one with kind of 2 calculators is a measure table. So if you have a table where you've only got measures in it, that's the icon that will show up for the table. The next one is a calculated column with a numeric data type. So the sigma symbol shows that you can aggregate it somehow. So you can do sums, average, max, min. That means it's a numeric data type. And the last one is a calculated column with a text data type. The FX just means it's a calculated column. So you've got measures, measure tables, calculated numeric columns, calculated text columns.
Yeah, and last week we actually, or I think 2 weeks ago, we had a discussion around this measure table because it's not that obvious for people how to create it. And there was some request around having a button to create it instead of having to hide all columns in the table.
Yeah, I see. It's a good feature request. Stick up the ideas for him.
Yeah, I think there's an idea, but it was Reed Heavens who had the quiz, and he was actually happy around this. It's not so easy because he has a YouTube video on that specific topic that has a lot of views. So most of the people answered this one correctly. And Kyle Müller is in the lead with all three correctly until now. And what is this icon? So one more icon. And it can be a little tricky one.
Yeah, you'll see this icon on the top of visuals when you've got a drill hierarchy enabled for that visual. So if you've got a axis with years, quarters, months on it, or with like country, state, and city, there'll be a set of drill icons available. I want to know what this one is.
Oh, let's see how people answer this one. Ooh. So
look at that.
The correct answer is go to the next level in the hierarchy.
It is, yeah. Expand all down one level in the hierarchy is the one with the like forked arrow that kind of splits and expands.
Yeah. But yeah, this is also one of the things I didn't press one of them. Oh, it wasn't that one. I pressed the other one. So yeah, let's see if we have Kyle in the lead, but
oh, look at this.
we have some.
It's
It's really close on the points right now. And the sixth question, and here you get double points. So it's related to the question before.
What does that actually do? When you click that icon, what changes in the visual? Read quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have given slightly longer to read the question on this one.
Maybe, yeah. But we got a lot of answers. Not all people.
Hey, but most people figured it out. That's good. Hey, look at this.
Yeah. So most people.
Yeah. So this one replaces the current level. So if I'm looking at the year, I'm looking at all my data split up by year, and I click this one, it will go to the next level in the hierarchy, which will be, let's say it's month, and it will show me the months for all of the years. So it doesn't select a particular year and drill down. It replaces the whole thing. I know. I know those two are kind of tricky ones because it's like, well, if I get it wrong, I'll just go back up and click the other one. But hey, like I said, we wanted to test the edges of your knowledge about how detailed do you know, how much detail do you know in Power BI?
Oh yeah. And still Kyle in the lead. But it's really close.
Mm. All right. What action doesn't require you to sign into desktop? So there's a set of things that you need to be signed into Power BI desktop to do. And you'll see that little thing that pops up saying, type in your email, and it'll authenticate you to up to the Power BI service. Which of these do you not require to be signed in to do?
Yeah, and most people got it right.
Yeah, or at least more people got it right than chose any of the other answers.
Yeah.
You've got to be signed in to connect to a Power BI dataset so that we know the list of workspaces that you've got access to and whether you've got access to the datasets. We need you signed in so that you can review the Q&A questions that people have been asking against datasets in the service. You need to be signed in to publish because otherwise, how do we know what you can publish to? But the Power Apps visual is independent. You're signing into Power Apps when you use the Power Apps visual. And we don't really care whether you're signed into desktop or not to do that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see the scoreboard now, and we have a new one in lead, Solo Turbo. I believe that must be a Twitter handle. And LS is the second one.
Okay, this is a really weird one. How many pixels wide is the desktop canvas grid? Funnily enough, there was a conversation on Twitter, I think, about this recently, or amongst MVPs maybe, about the grid lines that you get if you go and turn them on in desktop, or at least the grid dots that you get. And people were confused as to exactly how wide they were and how many pixels you get each time you move your visuals left and right. How many times does it snap? In the chat, you can tell me how many of you actually use this. Wow, I am amazed that this many. Fantastic. That's good. That's good because it means you've tried to use it and you've noticed that it's a rather odd number.
Yeah,
I'm
also very impressed. Yeah.
All right. So the obvious follow-up question. Oh yeah, let's look at the scores first. Yes, excellent.
Then we have a poll.
So how wide should it be? Is 8 pixels a sensible size for the grid? Or should we make it something else? And if you think we should make it something else, what do you think it should be? So there's no points for this one. This is just some feedback. I could not let an opportunity slide to ask the community for some feedback. And as we had a conversation about this recently, I thought this would be a good opportunity to get that feedback. So how wide do you think it should be? Is 8 good, or should it be a rounder number, like 5 or 10? Okay, good. Thank you. That is some clear feedback, something that perhaps we will go change.
So now you have some feedback. Yeah, you can go back, and I'm pretty sure you can make the decision.
Yeah, something we can go and change.
So yeah, 8 is just an odd number. So now we have a multi-select.
So you want to transform a table. So this is a Power Query question. So you're in the query editor, and you want to transform this table at the top to the table at the bottom. What transformation do you use? There are 2 possible answers here.
So you can...
I always get this wrong. I for the longest time, it's like, I know it's some combination of pivot and unpivot other columns or something like this. But which columns do I select and which ones do I change? Hey, great stuff. Well done. Those are the two options. You can either select the years and unpivot them, or select the things that you want to group by and unpivot other columns.
Yeah, so the keyword is actually what you want to group by. So yeah, if you answered both correctly, you will get 2,000 points for this one. If you answered one of them correctly, you get 1,000 points. But if you answered one correctly and one wrong, you will get no points correctly. So let's see how this changes stuff. Oh, LS is still, and now Carl is going up and Solotero. So yeah, let's go to the next question.
Right. This is a formatting question. So there's a whole bunch of different settings that control the way that measures, or dates in particular, get formatted. And Power BI will look at your display language, your regional format, your model language, application language. All of these things can determine how your text has got formatted in the end. So if you set your display language to United States, set your regional format to United Kingdom, model language to French, application language to use the display language, the locale should be Danish for importing it, and then you load that text value. You set a format string of long date. You're going to get one of these 4 answers. And I want you to see if you can figure out how well do you know, or what's your expectation of how Power BI use this?
One thing is what you expect, and one thing is what's correct.
Yeah, sure.
So let's see if people can get this one correctly.
Yeah, a bunch of people managed to figure out though. So 16 June. So this is using the UK display format. So the crucial thing was that your regional settings in Windows were set to be UK, and the long date format just says, hey, use whatever the user's regional settings are. The long date custom format string, which is a VB, it's been around since VB, just uses whatever the user's locale is set to. It kind of ignores everything else. So yeah, you'll end up with that one.
Yeah. So let's see how the scoreboard is now with one question left, and also with the last question we have double points, so you can still go and catch LS and Solotero and Kyle, and so you can get through to 2,000 points for the last question. So it is narrowed down, I will say, for these 3 in the top now. So we'll see how the podium will be.
Okay, there's going to be a GIF in this one. You're in the DAX formula editor. And there's a thing that you can do to select all of the instances of what's currently selected. So if you've got a formula like this and you want to replace a whole bunch of things at the same time, you can drag to highlight 7 days. And then there's a keyboard shortcut that you can press to select all the other instances. Which keyboard shortcut is it?
So this is all around to be efficient as you can be.
And I wanted to use this as an excuse to show people just that, hey, there's a whole bunch of keyboard shortcuts to help kind of productivity in the DAX editor. And actually, we reuse the code editor from Visual Studio Code.
Oh.
So the keyboard shortcuts that if you do any development there, the keyboard shortcuts mostly all transfer over. And so you can, if you're used to that, you use the same shortcut. And hopefully many of you have been able to figure that out. Maybe some of you already know it from Visual Studio. Okay, Control-Shift-L. Yep, that's the one that does it. Control-Alt-L will lock your PC. So I hope you didn't try that one. Control-Shift and the slash, I've actually forgotten, my mind has just gone blank. I think that inserts a comment. And Control-Shift-Enter inserts a line above where you are. So you can do Control-Shift-Alt-Enter or Control-Alt-Enter to insert a line beneath. Control-Shift-Enter so it's a line above. And there's a load of other ones for like copying the current line. So we've got select all instances of the current selection, select all instances of the current word. There are ones for, like you saw how there's then multiple cursors on all the different selections. There are various other shortcuts for like adding in multiple, you can like control click to add a second cursor in. So if you were to left click on, you've got your cursor on 7, you left click on another 7, now you've got 2 cursors, and you can move them around up and down and type over them in the same place. There's loads of shortcuts there to go look at.
Yeah, and is the list somewhere with all do you?
Yeah, if you go check out on the documentation on the Power BI Docs site, there's a list of keyboard shortcuts up there.
Nice. So that was the last question. Let's see how it all ended with the podium. On the 3rd place, we got Alex. Congratulations to Alex. And then we have Solo Turo. And on 1st place, Alice. So congratulations to Alice. And Alice, are you on the chat? Then please. Yeah, it's Alessandro Gerardi. Wow. Congratulations to that. You got 9 out of 12 correctly. That's pretty impressive, given that 2 of them was not awarded points. So you actually got 9 out of 10. Very impressive. And all through that, actually, Solotoro got 10 out of 12 correctly. You got more points. So maybe some double points you got for some of yours. So yeah, thank you for everyone attending the quiz, and congratulations to the winner. And and thank you to you, Will, to take out the time of your busy calendar, or actually to block your calendar for being here, because it is in your working hours right now. So yeah. And
thank you all for playing. Thank you for inviting me on. And I hope you learned something. I hope at least I managed to set some questions that some of you scratched your heads on and went, oh, actually, that sounds like I should go learn more about that. Certainly those keyboard shortcuts at the end, dead useful.
Yeah, I learned something, I can say. So thank you very much for taking your time out to this quiz. And next week we will have a quiz on maps in Power BI, where we will have James Dales from the UK. He had made the icon map custom visual, but he also knows a lot of things around just maps. So I bet most of you can also learn a lot next week if you want to learn more about maps. That's the topic for next week with James Dales. So yeah, hope to see you all next week, and have a good day, good morning, or good evening, or good night, depending on where you are watching from. So yeah, thank you.
See ya. Thank you. Bye.